Good morning to all of you. Today we shall discuss about the layout of steam power plant. So first thing, you know, power is very much required for all of us. So in a power plant, we develop the mechanical energy, and that energy will be utilized to produce electricity or for some other purposes. So electricity, the importance of electricity is very much nowadays. So we are discussing about the steam power plant. Basically what happens in a steam power plant, we give heat energy to the water. Water is the primary element, or you can say the resource from which we generate the energy. So when we heat water, steam produces. So that steam possesses the thermal energy, and that thermal energy will be converted into mechanical energy in steam turbines. So basically, what is a steam power plant? How it functions? What is the layout of steam power plant? That part we are going to discuss. Okay. So in a steam power plant, there is a boiler, and we say the boiler is the steam generator. And to produce steam, we need water. So water will be heated in a cell, and that cell is the boiler where water gets heated and steam generates. So boiler is known as the heart of the steam power plant, from where we get the steam, that is we get the thermal energy. So actually, what are the requirements to generate steam? So simply we can say, to generate steam we need water, fuel and air. You can see here water is being heated. To heat the water, we need heat energy, and heat energy will be produced from the burning of the fuel. So what kind of fuel we are using in steam power plant? Coal, charcoal, oil, gas, etc. So when this fuel will burn, and fuel has the calorific value, when it burns, it produces heat energy, and that heat energy is utilized to boil water, and when water gets vaporized, it converted into steam. Okay. So third important source is air. As you know, for burning of the fuel, air is necessary. Without air we cannot burn the fuel. So air is also required. Air helps in burning the fuels. So these are the sources that we need to run a steam power plant. And there are some sources which these sources, uh, you can say, to provide these sources, boiler needs some units. So how we get these sources for the power plant? First thing, water is the source. Water comes from the water treatment plant. So in power plant there is a water treatment plant. In water treatment plant, they pick up the water from the reservoir, and that water is the dirty water, maybe the river water, dam water, whatever, and that water uh, is treated in the water treatment plant. That means we use various methods of filtration of water. We remove the dirt from the water, we check the quality of the water, then finally we prepare the pure water. Okay. And that water is known as the makeup water, and that makeup water is continuously fed to the boiler. So there is a water treatment plant which helps for that. The next one is the coal handling unit. So coal is the solid fuel that is used in the furnace of the boiler. So a good quality coal is required for combustion to produce heat energy. So that coal will be handled by a coal handling unit, or you can say coal handling plant, and that coal is fed to the furnace. Next one is the air handling unit. You can say a air handling unit is there in a power plant. It will draw the atmospheric air, and after treating the air very well, it supplies the air to the furnace. So furnace is the housing where fuel and air both are supplied. So after heating the fuel in the presence of air, the flue gas generates. Flue gas is the burn gases which are, you can say, these are the smoke which produces from the fuel. Simply when you will burn the coal, uh, smoke will generate, and that is the flue gas which carries a lot of energy, and that energy is utilized to heat the water. So first thing, you can say what are the requirement of the boiler. Coal and air are supplied to the furnace. So these are the sources of heat energy. So when the coal will burn in the presence of air, heat energy will develop. Water is supplied to the boiler drum, and this water is being heated by this heat energy. Okay, and furnace and boiler drums both work as a single unit. So in this figure, you can say here is a boiler, means a furnace is attached to the boiler. That means this is a single unit where combustion of fuel takes place and steam gets heated. So let me explain this figure now. This one is a boiler. You can see there is a cold storage unit, and this part is from the coal handling plant. The coal handling plant stores the coal, prepares the coal. Actually, this big size coals are grinded and prepared to small size coals, and that coal is fed into the boiler, or you can say that is fed into the furnace. Then air is supplied from the air handling unit, and when the furnace gets lighten up means when the furnace gets started, it produces heat energy, and we supply water from the water treatment plant. You can say this is the makeup water, or water from the boiler feed pump also fed to the boiler, and this water is being heated inside the boiler. Now how the boiler section works, let me explain. First we will go on the figure, we'll discuss what happens when the boiler works. So this one is the boiler, and you can say this one is the furnace, and the furnace, at the bottom of the furnace there is a grate, and there is a bed of charcoal and the basic bed materials of the furnace. Coal is fed from the coal handling unit into the furnace, and hot air is supplied into the furnace. Okay, so this hot air is prepared in the air preheater. So air preheater is one of the accessory of the boiler where atmospheric air gets heated, and this air preheater uses the flue gas which is coming out from the furnace to heat the atmospheric air. So air preheater is the accessory, or you can say it is the heat exchanger in which hot air is produced, and this hot air is fed into the furnace. So in the presence of this hot air, fuel burns and heat energy will develop, and when this heat energy develop, you can say lot of uh, burned gases will be there inside the furnace. These burned gases having lot of energy, you can say the heat energy, will heat the water which is fed into the boiler. You can see water is coming from the economizer. Economizer is also a heat exchanger. What happens inside the economizer? Cold water is being heated and hot water is produced from the economizer. So when hot water coming out from the economizer, it enters into the boiler. It improves the boiler efficiency. Simply, in the power plant, cold water is directly not fed into the boiler because cold water will take more time to get converted into steam. So hot water is required to decrease the time and improve the efficiency. So economizer is the heat exchanger. So how economizers get energy? The flue gas coming out from the furnace enters the economizer, and inside the economizer, flue gas temperature will be transferred to the hot water. Flue gas temperature will be transferred to the cold water. Cold water will be converted into hot water, and after that, this flue gas escapes out from the economizer. Okay, and this gas is also utilized in the air preheater. So inside the furnace, combustion takes place, heat energy develops, flue gas will be generated, water is fed into the boiler. When this water inside the boiler gets heated, the water vaporizes. So at the top of this boiler cell, you can say steam will generate, and this steam escape out from the boiler through a valve. You can say there is a steam stop valve which opens to discharge the steam when there is a sufficient pressure. So one important thing is, when the steam is discharged from the boiler, when there is sufficient pressure as per the requirement of the plant, then only this valve opens and steam is released from the boiler, and this steam will go to the turbine. Turbine is the prime mover. Now in a steam power plant, simply it works on 4 circuits, and out of these 4 circuits, one of the circuit is coal and ash circuit. In this circuit, you will see how coal is being fed into the furnace, and how the burnt coal, or simply you can say the ash, comes out from the furnace. So this one is the coal and ash circuit. You can see the coal handling unit, which is storing the water, storing the coal, preparing the coal, and supplying the coal into the furnace. Okay, this coal will come into the furnace, and after burning, when coal burns, ash produces. So after burning, the ash will be removed from the furnace. So there is a proper uh, method utilized in the furnace to remove the ash, and that ash is handled by the ash handling unit. So this unit uh, takes the ash from the boiler and simply discharge the ash to a proper place in a proper manner. So this one is the coal and ash. Next one is the water and steam circuit, and this is the very important circuit in the power plant, where you will see how water gets converted into steam, and that steam is not wasted. That steam is again utilized in the power plant. So that means we are uh, recirculating the water, okay, in a cycle. So what is this cycle? You can see simply the power plant works on Rankine cycle. You can say, suppose I am writing here, the power plant works on Rankine cycle. So you must remember, a power plant works on Rankine cycle. In this figure we will discuss what is Rankine cycle, and we will discuss how the water and steam gets converted. Suppose here the boiler is there, and we supply water into the boiler, and when the boiler uh, is being heated by the furnace, or when heat energy is fed into the boiler, what happens? This water gets heated and vaporized, and finally steam comes out from the boiler. So you can see we supply the hot water and boiler gives us the steam. So what is the input to the boiler? Input is the hot water. What is the output? Output is the steam. So when this steam comes out from the boiler, it comes to a superheater. What is a superheater? So superheater is also a heat exchanger where heat exchange occurs between the steam coming out from the boiler and the flue gas, or simply you can say to the superheater flue gas is provided. Okay, so steam coming from the boiler is entering into the superheater, flue gas is entering into the superheater. So this steam is again heated inside the superheater by the flue gas. So after that, after reheating the steam inside the superheater, you will get the superheated steam. Okay, and this is the desired steam for the power plant which we fed to the turbine. This superheated steam having very high pressure. Okay, this steam having very high pressure and very high temperature. So with high pressure and high temperature, the steam is moving into the turbine. So pressurized steam when enters the turbine, simply you can say it has the force. Maybe there is kinetic energy in the steam, and steam with a very high kinetic energy when enters into the turbine, simply in the turbine there is a shaft. You know, in a turbine there is a shaft, and this shaft is coupled with the generator shaft. When steam enters the turbine shaft rotates. When this turbine shaft rotates, the generator shaft will rotate and power is transferred from turbine to generator shaft. So you can say when steam enters the turbine, it produces the mechanical energy. So inside the turbine, what happens? The thermal energy of steam converted into mechanical energy. And how this mechanical energy develops? This is the due to the rotation of the shaft of the turbine. So when this shaft rotates, simply the generator shaft rotates and the generator starts working, and you know what we obtain from the generator? Electricity. Okay. So when this steam comes out from the turbine, simply when this steam comes out from the turbine, we don't waste this steam because this steam is prepared from the pure water. So this is simply we can convert this steam into pure water again, so it cannot be wasted. So this steam possesses some energy also. When this steam comes out from the turbine, we want to reutilize this steam again. How? The steam is fed into a condenser. Condenser is also an heat exchanger. So what happens in the condenser? We supply cold water to the condenser. This cold water flows inside the condenser, and inside the condenser heat exchange occurs between the steam and cold water. So as a result, steam loses its temperature and cold water gains temperature and becomes hot water and escape out from the condenser. So cold water circulates inside the condenser and carries the heat from the steam and comes out from the condenser as hot water. So when you remove the energy, heat energy present in the steam, this steam now becomes the condensate. Okay, so from the condenser, this condensate will come out, and this condensate, simply you can say the uh, liquid vapor mixture, okay, is removed from the condenser, and it is removed by the boiler feed pump. And boiler feed pump, simply you can say it is a pump which is extracting the condensate from the condenser and supplying this condensate to the boiler again. Okay, so this is how water gets heated, converted into steam, and this steam is utilized in the turbine, and finally this steam is converted into condensate, and this condensate is fed again into the boiler. So it completes a circle. So in this cycle, so water is circulated. So you can simply say there is a conversion of water and steam. Okay, and this cycle is known as the Rankine cycle. And there is also a air flue gas circuit. Simply you can say what happens in a air and flue gas circuit. Already we have discussed, in when boiler gets heated, it develops the flue gas. This flue gas is utilized in the superheater, economizer, air preheater, and then it is removed from the plant. This flue gas is directly not discharged to the atmosphere. Before that, there is a ESP, electrostatic precipitator, which removes the dust from the flue gas and collects the solid particles. Then gas is escaped from the ESP. So there is a ID fan which draws the air and provides good height to the air and helps in releasing the flue gas to the atmosphere. So this is the chimney where the air is entering, and finally this air is leaving the chimney at a great height, so it is uh, escape out to the atmosphere. Okay, and finally we will see, if you will combine all these circuits, if you will combine all these circuits, you will find the layout of steam power plant. This is how a steam power plant is. Okay, so here you can see a boiler is there. This one is the coal handling section, which is supplying coal, and after burning of the coal, the ash will develop, and this ash will be handled by the ash handling unit. So we supply water to the boiler from the economizer, boiler feed pump, condenser. This one is the unit, and we supply makeup water here also. If there is shortage of water, then makeup water will be fed. Okay, and you can see this one is the condenser. So to cool the condenser, we continuously supply cold water from the cooling tower, and we remove the hot water from the condenser and fed into the cooling tower. So in the cooling tower also it is the heat exchanger. We can say here the hot water gets cooled so that we can reutilize this water again and again. Okay, we don't want waste water simply. So already we discussed, the water is flowing to the boiler, and when this water evaporates, when this water gets heated, steam produces, and this steam comes out from the boiler, and it is again superheated, and after that superheated steam is fed into the turbine, and this is here, and this you can say this is the prime mover of the generator, or simply this is the powerhouse where mechanical energy develops. And after when the steam uh, do its function inside the turbine, it gets released, and this exhaust steam is fed into the condenser and it is utilized again. Okay, so next one, we supply air from the air preheater to the boiler. Already we discussed about that. And when this flue gas coming out from the leaving the power plant, it passes through the ESP, ID fan and chimney. This is how the steam power plant functions. So regarding all these, you will study in a beautiful lecture from Professor Ravi Kumar and faculty from IIT. So you prefer the video from NPTEL, and this one is the link, you note down, and by opening this link you will find the lecture where you will know more and more about this power plant layout and all these things. Okay, thank you.